There we go. We need a little microphone to be on. Hey, Nicolette. Yeah, I didn't have any music on because I was kind of running in late. I was handling some last minute tasks. Oop. How's everybody doing? Happy Monday. Turn that up a little bit, see how that sounds. Da 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 da. Let me open up Spotify, catch a vibe while everybody gets settled in. Hey! You know what I just thought of? Last week was earthquake class. Remember that? That was interesting. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Miriam. Renee, I know. Holy shit. How is it already? Almost May. I want you to play on this computer, please. There we go. I know it's kind of streaming over right now, but that's fine. Because we need to talk about what we're going to do today. Also, I dyed my hair this morning, so we're a little patchy, splotchy, but I'm just one sweaty workout away from not having a hairline like this, so have faith, everybody. I love that, Stephanie. Congrats. Well deserved. Well deserved, well deserved. Where is everybody checking in from this week? I always remember when we did that. That was fun. That was fun. I'm going through my Ashtanga book right now to see what the hell we're doing. I have an idea for one thing I want to do, but that's kind of like an end game thing. So I want to think about some of the ways I want to get us warmed up. Ooh, what do you guys think about twists today? I kind of want some twisties. I want some twisty wisties. Minnesota. Minnesota. Yes. Oh, I love that. North Redondo, yes, very close to my hometown. Chilling and sunny in SD. It's such a nice day. California was killing it this weekend. All right, twists were down, hips were down. Yeah, let's twist about it. What do you think, Pi? You want to twist with us, Pi? Let's do it. We'll do some kitty twists first. Oh. Here's how we twist our kitties. What? 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 last time I was at the vet and Pi was being a total bitch because that's her vibe now that she's an older lady. The vet was like, oh, I touched her here. Is she tender there? I'm just like, no, she's just being a jerk and doesn't want you to touch her, but that's okay. Anyways, I told the vet, I was like, I stretch my cat, so there's no way that she's tender there. I stretch her, I do twists with my cat, we do kitty cat inversions, and I give her massages. She's just being a crabby bitch. Okay, so we got hips, we've got some twists, and we'll just see where we go. It'll be an adventure. I always like to keep some blocks on hand. They're helpful. So I'm just gonna keep these towards the front. Let's get started seated today. Yeah, you down? You gonna do it with me, Pi? Now, as always, with any type of like movement class, do as much or as little as you want. This is a class where I'll be offering some more intense things. So push if you want to push, pull back if you want to pull back. We'll start with a couple rounds of breath. So in your seated position, try to have as tall and as long of a posture as possible. So notice if you're collapsing back or just feeling like kind of lazy, sit up tall, engage your back muscles, pull them down your back. And just start to scan and check in with the current state of your body and where you're at right now. See if you can elongate both your inhales and your exhales. Our breath is often something that we kind of take a little bit for granted. It's something that we do automatically. We literally do it in our sleep, right? And because of just the way the world works, the way that we are, oftentimes our bodies are in stress states. We don't take deep breaths. We don't modulate our own nervous system with the simple tool that is breath work or pranayama in your yoga practice. Take this next breath. Now let's take a breath in and we're going to hold it at the top. Sip on another sip. Hold. And right at that point where you start to feel there's no way I can hold this any longer, stay for one more little moment there. And then exhale. All that panic, all that fear out of your body. Let's do that one more time. Sip the breath in. Hold it at the top. Sip on another sip. One more sip. Hold. Relax the face. Nobody's trying to kill you. 3, 2, and let that go. Exhale. Good. All right, roll out those shoulders a little bit. Roll them forwards. And then roll them back one more time and lean back into your seat. So contract purposefully, hands on your knees or shin bones, and then sit up, finding your cat cows. Did you hear cat cows and came running? Because you're both a cat and a little cow. Yeah. I think it's about bath time for you again, ma'am. Ma'am. Oh, my pelvis just popped. Nice. All right, the next time you're contracted, let's switch the crossing of the legs. Whoop. And go for more of the same. Maybe you start to include a little more head and neck, come into a little more range. I've been really trying to work through my neck because oftentimes these muscles pull the muscles of our face down, create tension in the facial muscles, in the jaw. All right. Now let's meet in a neutral position and start to get into some spinal movement and the other degrees, the other ranges of flexion and extension. So we're going to start with some side bending. Left hand is going to work onto the floor. Right arm reaches up, side bend to your left hand side. Now you can keep just the hand on the floor or even bring the forearm onto the ground. Now if your right butt cheek lifts, reset. We want all those points of contact remaining. Try to really extend through your right arm. Rotate the palm up towards the ceiling. Stretch, extend, reach. Inhale, breath. And exhale, bring it through center. Let's go, same thing, other side. Right hand to the floor, left arm reaches up and over. Maybe the forearm finds the ground. Reach a little bit longer. And then rotate the palm up towards the ceiling. Try to do this with straight arms. Take a breath in. And with your exhale, bring everything all the way back to center. Now let's contract again. Bring both of your feet onto the floor. And we're going to do some roll downs just to get our abdominals ready for the day, ready for the week. Arms are going to reach forward in front of you. Firm the feet into the ground. Even try to dig your heels in. Start to roll down nice and slow. And right before your shoulder blades touch, I want you to hold there. Take an inhale breath. And exhale, bring yourselves back up. We're not even going to do the extra arm stuff right now. 3 more. 2. Last one. Now extend your legs long and in front of you. You can maintain a little bend into the knees if you need, or if you can, extend the legs out long. Reach your arms up and overhead. Take an inhale breath. And with your exhale, hinge forward. Go for your forward fold. Oh my God, my hamstrings feel atrocious right now. Now, if you're able to get contact with your feet, a couple things you can play with while you're here. I like to call this step on the gas. Wrapping your hands around the bottoms of the feet. Foint, so push through the big toe ball mounds and feel like you're pulling the arms out of the shoulder sockets. I just really love how this feels. All right, let's bring ourselves back up. Great, we're gonna reach our arms back up again and we're gonna add in some active twists here. Now what I don't want you to do is shift the hips. Try to keep the feet exactly as they are. Reach the right arm back behind you and then bring it back up. Try to stay tall, lifting up through the upper carriage, right? We're not collapsing into the low back. And again, you can bend your knees as much as you can here. Really feeling a sense of elevation and levity. Last 3. Last 2. And last 1. The next time you twist to the right, lean back and contract like you're trying to reach and touch the back of your mat, and then bring it back up. Do the other side. Kind of a little Pilates inspired warm up here. Good, last one to the right. Last one to the left. Good, bring yourself all the way back up. Lean back, pull the knees in towards your chest, and let's rock and roll like a ball. Roll all the way through to tabletop position, all fours. And once you're on your hands and knees, spread out your hands nice and wide. We'd already have done a lot of spinal warm up here. So let's get into your wrists. Imagine there's a little pencil right at your heart space. Draw a circle on your mat right between the hands. Good. Reverse your circles. Our goal is to create more flexion in our wrists here. All right. Now let's walk the knees a little bit forward, where we will, what the fuck? I don't know why Meta was calling me. Meta? Leave me alone, Mark Zuckerberg. Okay. Again, knees further together or forwards, and then you can lean back with the hands in this fully externally rotated arm position. This can be super intense, so again, just modulate as much as you want. Great. Now let's do the other side. So you're going to flip your hands, fingertips again facing the back. If this one is just agony to do both at the same time, you can do one at a time. You'll just be switching shortly here. Oh my God. I didn't do like any sort of stretching this weekend, so I'm definitely feeling it. Okay, have a little seat back on your heels and give your hands a little shake out, roll out through the wrists. Do some little fake jump ropes. Get into your arms, swing those around. And then we'll head into our downward facing dog and start to get into our first flows. So hands on the ground, feet step back. Send the hips up and back. Now, since this is our first downward facing dog, let's move around while we're here. Bend into your knees, pedal your legs, move your torso from side to side, shake out your head yes and no. Just get the body ready for this kind of inversion. Now let's try to find some stillness and let's refine. We want to try to send our sit bones up behind us, but if your hamstrings or back are really tight, then I want you to bend your knees a lot. Don't worry about whether or not your heels are touching the ground, and try to push away from the floor so that your arms are building some strength in this position. All right, let's lift our heels even more so. Bend your knees, look at the front, and step to the front of your mat. Now let's roll ourselves all the way up to standing. You can stay hip width distance, or you can walk the feet together for a more traditional stance. Let's reach our arms up. Inhale, breath. And with your exhale, bring the arms down by your side body. Firm the right hand down the thigh, side bend over to your right. Squeeze your buns, engage the legs. Come back through center, same thing, other side. Oh my God. All right, bring yourself back up. Now both arms are reaching up towards the ceiling. Open up, twist to the right hand side. Keep pointing your hip bones to the front. Reach arms up, same thing, other side. Good, bring the arms back up. Inhale, breath. Exhale, forward fold. Now find halfway lift. So hands can be on the floor if you're very flexible. You're trying to create a flat spine, so not a lot of folks are going to be able to do your flat spine with hands on the ground. You can do that hands on blocks, fingertips on the floor, hands on shins, or hands on thighs. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, hold 3, 2, and 1. Hands back down to the ground if they aren't already. Step back into a high plank position. Now let's hold this high plank. You can do this exercise with your knees on the floor. Scapular push-ups. Arms stay straight. Shrug the shoulders and separate them. We're gonna go for 10. 4, 3, 2. Keep the shoulders separated, glide forward, bend the elbows, 90 degrees, hold. Lower all the way down onto your chest. Whew, okay, let's do a small little bebe cobra. Feet hip width distance, especially since our backs haven't done any back bending yet. You can go wider if you need. Peel the head and heart up. You can give your hands a little push if you want some extra height. 3, 2, and 1. Lower down, slide the hands back a little bit. Let's go again. Peel up head, peel up heart. Maybe you push a little bit more, but try to keep all of the activity and engagement in your back line. Good, lower down. All right, let's go for our full upward facing dog. If you're happy with where your hands are at, keep them. Push the arms straight. Open up chest to the front and feel almost like you're trying to send the front of your pelvis forward. Downward facing dog. Lift up, pike yourself back. Super strong. All right, let's smooth that out. Increase our pace a little bit. Heels lift high, knees bend, see the front. Travel to the front. Halfway lift, inhale, breath. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to standing. Exhale, hands come down to the thighs. Side bend, reach left arm over to right. Exhale, come through center. Inhale, side bend left. Exhale, center with both arms up. Open twist to your right. Inhale, back up. Open twist left. Good. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, plant your hands, step back. Let's go through our chaturanga push-up. Glide forward, bend the elbows to 90 degrees. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, let's go again. Lift your heels, bend your knees, see the front. Travel to the front. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise up to standing. Exhale, hands by side. Hey, Pi, welcome back. Side bend over to the right. Exhale, center. Side bend left. Exhale, center with arms up. Open twist to the right hand side. Option to pick up your right leg. Find a little balance. Hold 3, 2, and 1. Back up, open twist to the left. Option for that extra balance. Left leg lifts. Good, back up, inhale, breath. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, find your chaturangas. Using that entire exhale to get to the bottom of that halfway push-up. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now let's take 5 breaths in this downward facing dog, which you can do still. You can even skip out, take a resting position like child's pose. Or if you want to take this a bit further into the flow process, use each of those breaths to work a spinal wave. So inhale forwards to your high plank. Exhale back. Forward and back. 3 more. Good on that last one. Maybe you add on 1 more chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, let's all meet in a downward facing dog. Now lift your heels and bend your knees. See the front of the space, grip into your fingertips. Let's try to hop to the front. Halfway lift, inhale, breath. Exhale, forward fold. Chair position, bend into your knees, reach your arms for the upper hand corner. Now, in our traditional chair position, we work with the knees together, but some space between your heels. If you don't love how that feels today or any day, you can always take a block, place it between your thighs. This will take you to more of a hip width distance, right? Now, if you have wider hips, smaller thighs, bigger thighs, right? All the variation in our human bodies, know that you can adjust that block accordingly, right? Wider, lower, skinnier, higher, lower, all the combos, okay? All right, now that I've gotten that PSA out of the way, let's take a breath in. Exhale, sweep the arms back, sit deeper into your chair. Hell yeah. Inhale, reach the arms back up. Exhale, open twist to the right. Really nice. Notice if the knees have any slippage, bring them back together. Inhale, bring it back up to chair. Exhale, sweep the left arm back. Nice. All right, bring it back up into the chair. Hold this depth, but just pick up your left leg in front of you. Balance on that right foot. Hold that squeeze through the glutes. 3, 2, and 1. Step back. Meet me in a high crescent position, but with your hands onto your hips. Now take a pretty exaggerative hip tuck or butt tuck here. Just want some pelvic length so that we can get into the hip flexors. Now let's do some tucks and untucks. Nice. Now hold on to your tuck position and let's take some lunge pulses. If you don't like lunge pulses for any knee stuff, then just omit. You can hold a low position or skip it entirely. Let's bring the arms back up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands come to heart center. Let's do our lunge twist. Left elbow to right thigh, back leg nice and long. Now try to bring your thumbs closer towards your heart center of your chest. And don't let this position collapse the right knee in. Try to push the knee into the right, this is the left elbow. Try to push your right knee into your left elbow and avoid rotating the back leg. Here for 3, last 2, and 1. Lower the back knee down. Show me your Anjaneyasana. Arms reach up. Great. Now take your hands down to the floor. Lengthen out your right leg. If this is difficult for you to feel comfortable in because of hamstring tightness or what have you, different body proportions, grab your blocks. Let's do a couple of these flosses. Last 2, and 1. Meet me in your lunge position. Let's have both of our hands onto the floor. Start to spin your left leg out to the side, and we'll step back into a modified side plank. So notice my knee is not underneath my hip right now. It's knee to knee stacking, okay? Hold this position. Perhaps you float your top leg up, trying to create a long line of energy. For 3, last 2, and 1. Push away from the floor with the left arm. Feel like you're trying to arc, stacking hip above your knee, and then return back to that original position. Again, reach and return. For 3, last 2, and 1. See if you can keep this leg floating. Spin around, attaching the right toe onto the floor. Good. Pull the left knee in towards your chest, round the spine, and then extend and move through your Ekapada. Upward facing. And exhale, downward facing. Do you guys need a repeat on that? Knee to the floor, right? Tuck. Pull the knee in towards your chest. and extend through. So that's anything that's single-legged in your yoga class is going to be called ekapada, all right? Maybe that'll come up later. Let's get back to the front. Do this shit on the other side, yeah? Lift your heels, bend your knees, see the front. You want to try that hop again? Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. All right, back to chair, bend your knees. Wow, my knees are loud. I feel like my mic is sensitive, so your knees are probably gonna, your ears are probably gonna hear my knees. All right, sweep your arms back behind you. And then bring them back up. Open twist to the right. And back up. Open twist to the left. And back up. Now float just the right foot, but stay in your chair. Don't stand up. For 3, for 2, and 1. Step back, hands on hips. You're in your high lunge. Go through a couple of those tucks. Now, a couple things about the feet. As you notice, my back foot is really elevated. I'm very pushed forward off of that leg. Also, my feet are not on tightrope. I'm on train tracks. That will help a lot with your stability. All right, hold your tuck, but take some pulses or hold in place or omit. For 3, for 2, and 1. Let's bring the arms back up and then exhale, twist. Hands through heart center, rotate, right elbow to left thigh. Good, now watch for any extra rotation through that back leg. That's strong and stable, neutral. Here for 3, last 2, and 1. Let's take it down. Work into your Anjaneyasana or your grounded lunge position. Really nice work here for the front of the hips. And then work through your half split or Ardha Hanumanasana. Go back and forth between the two with any little details you want, right? Maybe you just stick with the hands on the floor. You work on blocks. Maybe you want to go through the arm positions if you did that on the other side. 10 more seconds here. Okay, let's meet back in our lunge position, hands on the ground. And then we'll spin open into our modified side plank position with the knees in a stack position as opposed to hip stack over knees. Okay, try to externally rotate through your right arm, elevate through your left leg, feel strong. Now with your inhale, side arc. And exhale, bring it back. 4 more. Last 2. And last 1. Let's bring ourselves back around to the front. Left side toes on the floor. Right knee comes into chest. And then extend out, Ekapada, Chaturanga. I did this 2 times. All right. Now we're going to take another little break here, which you can treat it as a break, right? With a child's pose position or whatnot. You can stay in your downward facing dog. Or my personal suggestion, dolphin. Forearms come down to the ground. And you're trying to create a down dog-like shape. So we're not shoulders over elbows. We're trying to push back. Forearms are in an 11 position. Hold for 8 more seconds. For 3. Last 2. And 1. Let's come down to our knees. Shake out those arms a little bit. How did that dolphin feel? I'm going to try a weird transition later that maybe some of you will feel interested in doing. As a nice little prep for it, let's take a little break. Try for some headstand prep or headstand. Now, I moved my bun back because we want to be able to do headstand on the crown of our head. Yeah? So this needs to be comfortably on the ground without any clips or weirdness, okay? Friends that are headstand phobic or just anti-headstand because of neck injuries, as a fellow car accident girly, this is my answer always. Taking your shoulders onto your blocks, crown of the head onto the floor, and then bringing yourself up and practicing pushing into your blocks with your shoulders so that your head just barely levitates off of the floor. From there, you can walk your knees onto your triceps, right? And this can be where you stay today, holding this kind of rounded turtle shell-like situation. If you're feeling brave, knees together, maybe one leg up. If you're feeling a little freaked out and like you're gonna fall over, maybe you extend out your other leg, kind of as like a little counterbalance. If you haven't already, give it a go. I'll give you guys like 20 seconds or so. If you gave it a moment and want to stretch out your neck a bit, I always recommend that. All right, good job, guys. Let's bring ourselves back into down dog and let's enter this flow in a whole different way. Let's shake up the Etch-a-Sketch a little bit, okay? So we'll come back into our downward facing dog. Let's elevate our right leg and open up our right hip. Now stay with straight legs for a moment here. Try to really push away from the floor. Maybe even anchoring the left heel down towards the ground. Nice. Then from there, bend into your top knee. Try to continue externally rotating the arms. Hold 3. Last 2. And 1. Let's go right knee to right tricep. Inhale, lift right leg back high. Exhale, right knee, left tricep. Good. Again, inhale, leg high. Right knee, right tricep. Slide it up even higher, higher than you think you can. Yes, inhale, bring it back high. Right knee, left tricep. Again, same thing. How high? Good, kick it out. Fallen triangle. Roll to the arch of your back foot. Kick out that right leg. Take a little circle with this left arm, why not? Reverse. Return left hand down. Right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Step through into your low lunge position. High crescent, bring it up. With your exhale, sweep the arms back behind you. Now inhale, bring your arms back up again. Exhale, twist, hands through heart center, left elbow to your right thigh. Now look down at the floor, bend into your back knee, step forward into a prayer twist. Feet next to each other. Find that rotation, find that twist here for 3. Last 2. And 1. Come through center, stand up tall, and lift up your left leg. Figure 4 chair, left ankle, right thigh. Sit back, open up the hip. If you're looking for something more restful, not like this is chill at all, but you can bring your hands onto some blocks, hold onto a wall, hold on to a friend. Good, depth is up to you. Here for 3, last 2, and 1. Bring it all the way up to standing, lifting up your left leg, and let's work into our twist. Hand on thigh, left arm goes back, or if you're vibing, grab for the toe, revolved Padangusthasana. Here for 3, last 2, and 1. Bring your left hand onto your hip. Let's take a big step back. We're gonna meet in our warrior 2. Now, because we just did so much work on that front leg, let's bend and extend a couple times. Good, meet me in the bend, arms reach out. Reverse warrior, side body stretch. Exhale, side angle. Good, inhale, reverse triangle. And with your exhale, meet me at the top of your prep for triangle, okay? So front leg is straight, toes are facing the front, left toes still facing this long edge of your mat. Start to lean forward, cock your hip out to the side. Right when you're at about hip height with this right arm, I want you to hold. 3, 2, and 1. Take it into your triangle position. Lots of folks, you'll benefit with a block underneath your right hand. It can be in front of or behind the leg. Recommend behind, especially if stacking yourself up more is a goal of yours. All right, now if you want to add it, take a little half bind in with this top arm. Maybe fingertips find the inner thigh. Hold 3. 2 more breaths. Really nice. All right, let's bend into our front knee. If you've got this half bind, keep it. Reverse half bound warrior. And with your exhale, take it into a lateral lunge. So turn your toes towards the long edge of the mat, or keep them turned out and work into Skandasana. All right, from the Skandasana at the back of your mat, turn and rotate to the back of your mat. Meet me in a low lunge twist. And then rotate to the outside edge of your right foot. Turn left toes towards long edge of mat, horizon lunge. Try to stay tall and elevated. Push through this right arm. Nice. All right, bring it all the way around. Let's go into wide-legged fold. Hands or forearms at the center. Feel free to bend your knees, work a little bit. Good, let's take it to the front. Frame up your right foot. Ekapada Chaturanga, she's back. Right leg extends back. High to mid plank. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. All right, let's do the other side of this, huh? Left leg lifts, hip opens. Let's keep the legs straight for right now. Nice, bend into your knee, create that space, and then let's tap left knee, left tricep. Inhale, left leg high. Left knee, right tricep. Left leg high. Knee to left tricep higher. Ooh. Back high. Left knee, right tricep. Again, feel like you're stuffing it into the armpit. Kick it out. Fallen triangle. Roll to the instep of your back foot. Reach. Take those arm circles. Reverse. So good. Return. Left leg to sky. Need to know, step through low lunge. All right, high crescent. Whoa, hello. Exhale, sweep the arms back. Inhale, bring it back up, high crescent shape. Exhale, crescent lunge with a twist. Right elbow to the left thigh. Now look at the ground, right at where your left foot is. Bend your back knee. Step forward, prayer twist. Knees stay together. Hold 3. Last 2. And 1, nicely done. Let's bring ourselves up through center into a standing position with the right leg lifted. And let's twist. You can go hand on outside of thigh or go for your revolved Padangusthasana. Now, if looking back or looking off to the side, really weird, try to just look forward or even a little forward and down. Sometimes looking down can just be immensely helpful. I know I forgot the figure 4. We're adding it in after this. Don't you worry. I was like, wow, why does my hip hurt? Oh, I know. I forgot something. Okay, let's bring it up. Take it into your figure 4. It's okay, the world will not end because you did things out of order. And that's coming from a very type A person. Wow, my left calf is on fire. All right, bring it up. Take a big step back. Warrior 2. Oh, since my leg's dying, let's take a couple of in and outs. We're close. We're close to the end. So close. All right, let's hold. Reverse warrior. Side bend, get after it. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse triangle. So straighten out through your front leg. And exhale, let's get into the top of our prep here. Start to shift the hip so the hip comes up. Reach. Pause. For 3, for 2, and 1. Oh, buddy. All right, triangle pose. I gave you guys all the suggestions with blocks and stuff. I'm gonna take a half bind here because I did it on the other side. Hey, Pi. Thanks for being my buddy and hanging out with me, dude. All right, we're gonna keep the half bind. We'll rebend back into our front knee. Half bound, reverse warrior. Oh. All right, bring it up through center. Let's release, coming into either your low lateral lunge with both of your feet parallel or Skandasana. So coming lower, kind of like you're going into like half of a Malasana on this side. I know, it's like perfect height to pet you, right? Perfect scritcher height. All right, let's take this position wherever you're at, whether you're in your low lateral or in your Skandasana. We'll turn and rotate, low lunge twist. And then horizon. Rotate the feet. Reach through the arm. Nice. All right, let's take it all the way back through center and into our wide-legged fold. Thank you. Thanks for boobs. Your ruff is looking extra ruffly lately. Very Elizabethan collar kind of vibes. All right, let's make it back to the front. Last chaturanga. Upward facing, and then downward facing dog. All right, take a little reset. Have a sit, drink some water. Again, it's our last like 8 minutes of class. But I want to squeeze in an option for you guys here, okay? We've already done our headstand, okay? We have been doing some forearm prep work. So if you do want to get into your pincha today, we've done some of that work for you to get you ready, okay? Now, if you feel more comfortable working on a wall, be smart, work on a wall. Don't hurt yourself, even though all this stuff can potentially be injurious, all right? So I'm gonna bring my forearms onto the floor. I'm gonna look down, roll the flesh of my forearm meat into the center, and then turn my hands down. You wanna feel like you're really locked in, like the elbows aren't gonna bow out. Work back into your dolphin, and then practice lifting a leg, right? Lifting the other leg. If you want strong shoulders and back, this is a shape that's gonna get it for you. All right, if you want to try to balance, again, you can take some hops. I'm also going to try one more transition. I don't know how successful I'm going to be because it's been a very long time since I've done this, but I'm going to go back into my headstand practice. This time I'm going to do, I like to just call it the hair pull. So interlacing your hands, pulling the head back, and then I'm going to adjust my arms and push into my pincha, or at least I'm going to try. So options, right? Let's see how I do today. Oh. That one is hard. It definitely promotes your arms being a little more triangular, but it's not the end of the world. Whew. Okay. You know what I'm in the mood for? Finishing on the floor with pigeon. Sounds good. Let's pull our right knee forwards. Tuck the back toe, slide back. I'm gonna adjust a little bit. Work my way into my half pigeon. If you don't love half pigeon, I also like going for deer. So that just means both of your legs are bent, right? Still gets into the hips awesomely. Can be much more chill. All right, now if you want to keep your little twist game going, I have some options for you. Threaded needle, half pigeon. So left arm goes around, right arm tucks around. Yeah, this one's pretty tough. If you would rather go for more of an open twist, prayer twist in your half pigeon, but open style is pretty nice. So hands at heart center, twist. I'm kind of bringing my elbow like near my foot, and then I'm going to rotate the chest towards that side of the room, but try to battle it a little bit and keep your left hip squaring down towards the floor. Good. Now, if you want a little mobility hip challenge for the hips, especially my friends doing this prayer twist situation, try to come back up, lean onto the right hip, take your left leg around and in front of you, and then back around all the way into your half pigeon. Nice. Okay, let's do the other side because time keeps on slipping through my fingers. Half pigeon or deer, whatever's. Threaded pigeon. Or prayer twisted. Ooh, my back. Again, resist the urge to open up this hip as you do this. Okay, hip mobility challenge if you took it. Bring it up. Bring the leg around. Extend to the front. Take it around to the back. Back into your half pigeon. Because I struggle with my hip flexors a lot, I've been opting to take my upright pigeons more often. So if you're like me, highly recommend you do the same. All right, guys, let's take it around. We'll hug both knees in towards our chest. Give yourselves a little consolation squeeze. And either you can spend our last few seconds of here in a seated meditation or your traditional Shavasana ground laying. Because this is an online class, I do a much shorter meditation. So wherever you're at, seated or ground laying, let's take this last 60 seconds. Breathing, noticing maybe you're sitting a little taller. The body feels a little less contracted. All right, everybody. As always, super grateful that you dropped into your physical practice with me today. If this was a newer practice for you, I promise it does get easier with time and repetition. If you're part of my online community, we have a couple more classes going on this week. We'll have our Wednesday reset, which is like a gentle stretch and myofascial release class, only 30 minutes, same time as this one. Thursday, we'll have our core, which is our yoga and Pilates fusion class, 45 minutes on that one. If you're local to the Los Angeles area, I have a workshop coming up on May 17th, straight and tuck inversions. It's an hour-and-a-half workshop, but believe me, that time blows by. So if it sounds like a long time, it's gonna go by really fast because there's so many different activities and drills and introductory things that we'll be doing in that workshop. I also have my retreat in Costa Rica coming up July 20th through 26th. I don't have a lot of spots left, so if you are interested in coming, reach out to me. Payment plans are available. Lots of different things we can work out if you're feeling a little on the fence. So, yes. Thank you guys so much for coming. Love, love, love having y'all. Ooh, spinal pops. My left hip has also been a big B lately. Sienna in her old age likes to piss in her carrier on the way to an... Sienna, why? That was everything I needed today. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Renee. Beautiful class. Thank you for your guidance. I know, a little out of order. It's good for you. Shake it up a little bit. I love when I get those spinal pops, Emma. It's the best. Keeps us on our toes. Yeah, it keeps you thinking. Ooh, pops in that everybody was hip popping except for me. I didn't get any, but that's okay. Thank you, Emily. Yeah, I'm actually going to a Pilates reformer class today in 2 hours. Trying out a new gym in our area. It's a really nice gym. It's very expensive though. So you know what I do to combat that. I just try to get hired there. Can you guys just hire me so I can teach class here and then take a bunch of classes and work out? Thanks. So one of my close friends, Karen, is teaching the class. I'm very excited. Maybe I'll get some hip pops there in the reformer. Thanks you guys for coming. Since I've moved, I don't think I've opened up this book, the one that I was studying before class, and I just found my perfume class notes. Would you look at that? It's class time, guys. Time to learn about scents. This was so fun. One of my close friends, Tiana, who's an amazing perfumer, taught this class. It was amazing. I guess this was my vibe that day. Watery and dark. Woody roses, seaweed, black currant. What was I going through? Love it. The same thing as always. Great class. When is the belly dancing class happening? That's a great question, Nicolette. Because I just got booked. Nicolette, you're gonna fucking love this. San Diego babies. I'm gonna be up in you. I haven't updated the corner of the screen yet, but May 31st, I'm gonna be doing 2 gigs in San Diego. One is a production my friends are doing in Escondido, so it's like North County. I think that's close to you, Emma. I can't remember where you're at exactly, because I know you moved. So I don't know if you're still in North County. Oh my God, Megan, I'm just reading your message. I love that. Thanks for coming. So yeah, Escondido. So I'll be doing their show, Grand Conjunction. It's like a big mixed show. I think it's an outdoor theater. I looked this morning. It looks really cool. And then later that night, I'm dancing at a fetish night at a goth club down there at Club Sabat. So it'll be like a belly dance fetish fusion class. class? No, performance. What am I talking about? So anyways, got that on the menu, need to work on. Was gonna work on it today. Get my shit together. I've got some good costume pieces for it. I'm missing some things that I was actually shopping on some sites today. I was like, I need a good, I don't know, just some like leathery accoutrement to go with my leathery fit. We'll see. We'll see what my little brain can cook up. Well, maybe, Emma, on my way in or out, I can come say hi to you. Yes, Nicolette, and I'm doing another show in North Hollywood called Roxira. That's in August. That'll be in North Hollywood at Evolution Studios. And that'll be a workshop and show. So that'll be a class, in-person class. I got a lot to do. I'm booked, baby. I'm booked. She's booked. Well, all right, guys. I think I'm gonna go blow dry this hunk of hair. I'm gonna do some editing. So all the classes that I taught last week, I didn't get to you guys. I'm gonna work on that right now before I go to reformer class. Yeah. If I don't see you guys at all this week, we'll be back next week. Then it'll officially be the last week of April. Jesus. That was it. I'm into the classes. Yay! That'd be great, Nicolette. Yeah, Roxira. I'll update this little thing in the corner and add in those shows. Because it's nice to have a little information blurb. All right, my loves. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week if I don't see you. We're in Taurus season officially, so love me some Taurus energy. All right, everybody, have a beautiful rest of your Monday, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.